Guardiamo quale anime è overrated, ovvero quale anime è sopravvalutato. Vediamo cosa dicono i giapponesi. Anno era depresso. Purtroppo sì, ma anche molto recentemente è stato depresso. Non è rispettoso dei collaboratori cambiare idea, sì, però se non cambi idea non puoi essere un regista, non puoi essere un artista. Quindi può anche non essere rispettoso, però non sarebbe il tuo lavoro in ogni caso, se no.
Anime, you think it's overrated?
My issue with Jujutsu Kaisen is that
The story could be better. It would have so much potential.
I watched it when I was young, so it made me think a lot about my own life.
When you reach the last episode,
Ecco, quello che ha detto che è sopravvalutato Evangelion, per favore lo eliminiamo dal video.
I wish they would continue. That's how good it is.
Gold, greatest anime of all time. Not even
Sarei curioso del suo Godzilla, in che senso? Non l'hai visto, Vendetta? Il Godzilla di Anno è il miglior Godzilla di sempre per me.
a debate.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi from Japan. So today I'm going to interview people in Japan. What anime is overrated? And at end
Io molto probabilmente stasera mi guardo invece Minus One su Netflix.
of this video, I'm gonna tell you my opinion, overrated, underrated, my most favorite anime of all time. So please watch until then. Okay, let's get started. Any anime you think it's overrated?
I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but One Piece, bro.
You think it's overrated?
Con la serie originale non aveva finito di raccontare tutto, per questo ha fatto la saga dei rebuild. No, con la serie originale ha raccontato esattamente tutto quello che doveva, poi i rebuild sono un'altra cosa. Ci sono delle aggiunte nei rebuild, ma con la saga, con i 26 episodi della serie originale, Anno ha raccontato esattamente tutto quello che voleva. Poi, dopo, ovviamente con i rebuild e con i film, ha messo della roba in più, ha aggiunto roba in più. Però quello che doveva e voleva raccontare al momento, quindi nel 95-96, lo ha raccontato con la serie.
Like what? There's too many episodes. I mean, like I've read the manga, I get the story, but why is bro not Pirate King by now? Like it's a 1,000 episodes for what? To watch him do the same thing over and I get he's not doing the same thing over and over again, but like 1,000 episodes is
Non ha tutti i torti, a dire che forse si sta allungando un po' troppo One Piece.
way too much.
I don't really watch anime. Is there any anime that you can recommend to someone who doesn't watch anime?
Beh, magari sempre se sanno delle cose che io non so, ci mancherebbe. Può essere.
Usually.
Somebody that doesn't watch anime usually, I would say start off with a 12 episode, one season anime called Erased on Netflix.
Appunto per quello, Forma Mentis, dato che gli ultimi 2 film stravolgono tutto, anche se non è assolutamente vero che stravolgono tutto quello che si vede nella serie originale, sono solo dei rafforzamenti, proprio perché sono cose nuove, cose in più. Ma non è assolutamente vero che stravolgono tutto quello che si vede nella serie originale. Ma che serie e film avete visto?
And then go up to Attack on Titan. It's a very complex story, but it's easy to understand. And there's only 4 seasons. It's about to finish. And then I would say move up to Dragon Ball Z, the classic, and then start Bleach.
Sì, ma Conan
and
è
then
diverso,
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
What's your most favorite anime of all time? Just one.
Shingeki no Kyojin, aka Attack on Titan.
What anime is overrated?
I think Bleach is incredibly overrated
Why?
because
L'ultima parte di Bleach, altro che overrated, è veramente una palla pazzesca.
70% of the show is filler. If you watch 100 episodes
bene,
of Bleach,
va bene.
only 30 of them, something actually happens. All the other stuff is just nothing. So, I'm not wasting my time watching that.
What about underrated anime?
Underrated, there's a anime called Dead Man Wonderland. That's a great anime. It doesn't end where the manga
Carino.
ends, but I don't meet many people who have seen it, and I think it's
Cioè,
amazing.
scusate, carino, io ho letto il manga ed era molto carino, l'anime non saprei.
So,
Why do you think it's amazing?
it's a little bit darker. I like darker anime. It's kind of deep, and it has like an interesting story, and it has like social commentary stuff. And I like anime that does stuff like
Quello è
that.
verissimo.
Can you give me an
Rago.
example? If you like this anime, you're gonna watch it.
I think if you like Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, you'll definitely like this one. If you've seen Mirai Nikki, Future Diary, I think you'll also really like Dead Man Wonderland.
What's your most favorite anime of all time?
Probably Evangelion. It's gotta be. It's such a classic. Good art style, good story, great voice acting. It's just everything about it is really, really good, I think. Just like adulthood and like being a teenager, the emotional topics. I watched it when I was young. So
Mirai Nikki è sopravvalutato? No, ma in realtà no, Kind Yuri. Chi lo conosce Mirai Nikki? Lo conoscono in quattro. Non è sopravvalutato, è abbastanza carino, mi ricordo il manga, io l'ho letto ai tempi, ma non è conosciutissimo.
it made me think a lot about my own life. So now when I see it, it reminds me about myself. I'm like, oh, like I've thought this and I've felt this, and yeah.
What anime is overrated?
I think Boku no Hero Academia.
Why?
I like the characters have so much potential, which is really good. And the world too, the world building. But the story could be better. It would have so much potential, but it's very overrated. I mean, it started good, that's why I get the hype. But I think it didn't like continue well. So that's why I think it's overrated.
What about underrated anime?
I think it's Made in Abyss. I feel like, I mean,
Bello.
it's pretty popular among the people who have watched it, but I also feel like a lot of people don't give it a chance because drawing style of the characters is very special. They look like very childish or like a baby, which many people are too scared to, like, no, I'm not going to watch this. But the world...
Devo finirlo tra l'altro, l'anime, perché il manga va troppo a rilento, mi ero fermato già un bel po' di tempo fa. Invece l'anime lo voglio proseguire. Avevo visto il film anche, molto molto bello. È vero però, è abbastanza sottovalutato Made in Abyss, ha ragione la ragazza secondo me. Perché è una storia profonda, soprattutto l'anime che poi aggiunge anche delle musiche particolari. L'autrice, no vabbè, diciamo che sì, sembrerebbe così.
World building is incredible and like all of the drawings. It's not like any other anime I've watched, I think. And it's very brutal, even though they look like kids. So I think more people should give it a chance.
What anime is your most favorite of all time?
It's always going to be Attack on Titan. The story is just, I like the story, the music, the way it's drawn. I don't know, the story got me so hooked. And like they have a lot of plot twists, which I like. If you watch it, you think it's about this thing. And then there's like a plot twist where all you thought was true was like a lie or like it's not what you thought it was. So from then you have to speculate like, oh, why did this happen? And why did they never talk about this? And you get to think a lot. In the end, usually like it turns out not as you expected. So that's why I like it a lot.
Takashi
So
from
what
Japan.
anime is overrated?
Kimetsu no Yaiba, aka Demon Slayer, is the most overrated anime of all time. Not even a debate. It's
Incazzato.
100% carried by the animation. It has zero plot twist. It's always the same kind of a story. So if you have watched
Non ha tutti i torti effettivamente.
a lot of anime, you know that there is nothing
Ciao,
unique in Kimetsu no Yaiba. Same kind of a story that you already probably watched in tons of anime, but with a beautiful animation. The only good thing about Kimetsu no Yaiba is Shinobu Kocho and the fight against Super Moon 1. That would be fantastic, but besides that, the story is absolutely bad.
What anime is underrated?
Bungo Stray Dogs, the story is a masterpiece. It has a lot of plot twists. Characters are relatable. One of the main characters in the side is super smart. He's probably one of the smartest guys in all anime. And if you like mystery, you gotta watch Bungo Stray Dogs. Japan is quite famous, but overseas is not that quite famous. I don't know why.
What anime is your most favorite of all time?
Shingeki no Kyojin, aka Attack on Titan, is the greatest anime of all time. Not even a debate. Like, it has the best storytelling, the best plot twist. The ending was fantastic. Shingeki...
Un po' troppo convinto questo, che dice sempre not even a debate, come a dire non è discutibile. Cazzo, sono gusti, sì, invece. Quindi certo che è discutibile, anche se sono d'accordo con il fatto che sia grandioso Attack on Titan.
Shingeki no Kyojin...
Poi tra l'altro meraviglioso il fatto che lui, un giapponese che fa video in inglese, abbia messo l'immagine di Attack on Titan con scritto parte 1. Quindi un'immagine italiana, veramente eccezionale.
GOAT, greatest anime of all time.
A me non dispiace Vendetta, non mi dispiace niente di che, però. Ale? Che è successo? Vai. È ripartito, ok.
Anime is overrated.
Dude, I'm sorry, Jujutsu Kaisen. My issue with Jujutsu Kaisen is that it's so complicated. They literally had to put a narrator on there to explain what is going on. Like, Yuji has this power, this person has this power, and when he does this XYZ.
Questo è una cosa che lo farebbe amare ai ragazzi di Anime Night Live, quello che dicevano anche loro.
XYZ ABC, then you'll finally understand. Like, I'm sitting there, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what is happening? Season 2 had some really good, like, fight scenes, but the pacing, it was just kind of like, it's okay. I don't know who the main character is anymore. First season, I don't even remember it. Like, I don't even remember it.
What anime is underrated?
An underrated anime is season 1 of ReZero. Bro, I loved that anime. It was so good. I don't think a lot of people liked it and didn't really understand what it was, but it is such a deep story that has to do with depression, mental struggle.
Why it's only season 1?
Because season 2, they kind of just go heavy into the lore and less about the character. So it's more about like, okay, now the plot's moving forward, we're doing this XYZ. But before it was like a character study of Subaru and his deterioration as a person. And it was, the shock value was really good. And I don't think a lot of people like it because I think season 2 has kind of devolved into waifus and just like cute girls and stuff. So it's an underrated anime for sure.
What anime is your most favorite of all time?
I'm a weeb, man. Like, my favorite anime of all time is K-On!
I mean, okay.
Yo, K-On! Real
Vabbè, lo
K-On,
ammette,
man,
dai.
was my most...
Ammette di essere un weeb, vabbè.
Actually, that is the anime that got me to Japan, which is why I wanted to come to Japan. It was like my very first like real slice of life anime where you're literally just hanging out with these girls, playing music. I was in a band at the time too, and I loved music, and I was into music production, and I remember like I wanted to get like Yui's guitar. I already got Azusa's guitar, like the Mustang. Like that's the first thing I bought when I got here. I know it's like cringe, like Moe Moe cute. Like it's kind of like that, you know, and the voices are kind of whatever. The songs really resonated with me. Every time I hear tension,
l'ha fatto perfetto.
like the Mustang, like that's the first thing I bought when I got here. I know it's like cringe, like Moe Moe cute. Like it's kind of like that, you know, and the voices are kind of whatever. The songs really resonated with
No, vabbè, ragazzi, quella dovrebbe diventare una suoneria.
me. Every time I hear Tenshi ni Furete, I cry, bro. I love that anime, and it always has a special place in my
basta, non
heart.
ce la
I would
posso
100% recommend
Non la
that to
posso più
anybody who just
sopportare.
wants to kind of escape and kind of feel this calm of just like everything's fine, and friends are what's important and stuff. It's very good.
Have you ever been unable to watch your favorite Netflix shows because they are only available in certain countries?
Che è Surfshark anche lui o qualcosa del genere, una VPN comunque.
Like real character development, the characters don't really change as much. They sort of overuse the power of friendship. I'm fine with the power of friendship being used every now and then, and if it's explainable, yes. But there are times I'm like, no, this is not valid. No, this does not make sense. No, how you feel does not always automatically mean you win. You can have all the courage you want, but if you don't have the power to back it up, you ain't gonna accomplish jack shit.
What about
Cazzato?
underrated anime?
Underrated, I would say Oregairu. Underrated because it doesn't have a lot of action, big fight scenes, but it's a critique, the social dynamics, the social influence of society, and how people are sort of products of the environment of which they are raised in, and how that will influence how you interact with people, how you see the world. It's a very interesting anime when you see the relationships people have between each other, the relations they have because of society, and the relationships that they have with themselves because of who they interact with and how society.
Sì, esattamente. Lo stavo dicendo anche io, però pensavo che magari qualcuno di voi lo conoscesse. Mai sentito. Il titolo è il classico titolo da Isekai, però non credo che lo sia. Penso sia un romance. Mai sentito prima.
What anime is your most favorite of all time?
One Piece. The character development, the relatable background stories. If it's not relatable, at the very least, it is understandable. Even if you may like, okay, I can't personally relate to this, but I can't understand it. The story expands very well. Everything is, in some way, shape, or form, is connected. Each character feels as though they have a purpose. They're not just there to fill space or to fit into a trope. The god named Oda does do a very good job of
Il dio chiamato Oda. Ecco, un altro leggerissimamente fissato con One Piece.
making sure his characters get equal screen time when they need it, when they deserve it. And he does a very good job of making sure anything that was sort of dropped in the past gets revisited in the future. Even if something is in episode 1 or episode 2, if you look far enough, it was
sì, ci sta,
referenced or connected to something that happened later on in the story. And I think that the arcs flow very well. The story does a very good job of expanding itself. And Oda, while he does give you enough hints, guess, or be able to inference what happens next, he also surprises you. Listen, I trust Oda and his works. Wherever he stops, I will respect the man. He's done us justice, and I believe he will continue to do us justice.
What anime is overrated?
I think Demon Slayer is slightly overrated because I had a really hard time like getting into it just because of, I think an anime should have a really good hook in the beginning to get you into it. And I felt like for me personally, it wasn't as exciting and it's so popular. Like it's more popular than like Spirited Away, which I can't like put together because I grew up with that. And so, yeah, I would say it's overrated.
What anime is underrated?
Stava facendo una recensione approfondita quel ragazzo coi rasta lì di One Piece. Ormai era partita a razzo.
I think Chainsaw Man is pretty underrated. I think it could be even more.
Ma come Chainsaw Man underrated? Ma se lo conosce il mondo. Lo conosce qualsiasi letteralmente persona sulla terra.
More popular because I think the art style is really, they mix a lot of like 3D animation into it as well. So to watch, it's like something so brand new. And so I really liked like enjoying that style of art. And I thought that the Chainsaw Man art from the manga to anime, the anime did even better. And so it made it much more interesting to watch.
What anime is your most favorite of all time?
I would say Attack on Titan is definitely my favorite. I did not want to watch it.
Tantissimi stanno dicendo Attack on Titan, veramente tanti. E ci sta, ragazzi. Per quanto sia recente è un capolavoro totale.
For years and years because it just had so much hype. But now that I watched it, I was just like, this deserves to be even more popular, in my opinion.
Sì.
Yeah.
So what anime is overrated?
Naruto. This is coming from a One Piece fan.
Naruto solamente il finale secondo me è un pochino overrated.
And Naruto is very overrated. It's very hype. Obviously Ninja is very cool. This is spoilers. Naruto kind of being like a god.
Dimmi.
Everything was decided by fate. Whereas the whole time in the story of Naruto about how fate doesn't matter and you can work your way up to become Hokage. But it turns out fate is what kind of helped him. The storyline kind of fell off at the end. However, I still respect it.
Aspetta. Un vero underrated anime, dice Megalobox, Kind Yuri. Ti dirò di più, Kind Yuri. A me ha fatto veramente cacare Megalobox. Sarà che mi hanno fatto anche delle aspettative che, essendo un omaggio a Rocky Joe, sarebbe stato bello come Rocky Joe, ma ti giuro che a me non è piaciuto per niente Megalobox. Non so se altri di voi ha fatto lo stesso effetto, ma a me davvero mi ha detto zero.
A lot. I still think it was very beautifully done, but it's not as good as One Piece.
So what anime is underrated?
One of the most underrated anime, Berserk. I do still meet people who watch anime that have not seen Berserk, and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? This is like only 24 episodes.
Sì, ma lo sai che l'anime di Berserk fa cacare, ragazzo mio, vero? Cioè, sai che esiste un manga da cui è tratto che se lo mangia a colazione, pranzo e cena, e che l'anime non è letteralmente niente rispetto al manga.
Maybe it's like 1990s anime art style that people don't like, but this is about a man, guts, and his true perseverance through life. You know what? I think a lot of guys like this more. It's kind of like this Sigma male mindset. So, Berserk.
Che cazzata questo che Berserk è per un maschio Sigma. Che cazzata!
Definitely underrated. For new anime watchers, yes. Old anime watchers, they've probably seen it.
So,
quello degli anni 90 non era un brutto anime, ma insomma, dai, precario, cioè nel senso, magari rispetto a quelle ciofeche dei film in CGI che hanno fatto dopo era meglio, ovviamente, ma se quello è un bell'anime, boh, non lo so.
What anime is your most favorite of all time?
One Piece. One Piece is the best manga of all time. The anime suffers a little bit from pacing, I understand, but the manga, the story of One Piece, best.
No, orribile no, però se ti aspetti qualcosa di simile al manga rimani deluso per quanto riguarda Berserk, anche la prima serie. Neanche io dico che sia orribile, dico che rispetto al manga è orribile, cioè, rispetto al manga è una ciofeca. Se poi lo prendi come prodotto comunque di per sé è una serie godibile. Potevano fare, dovevano fare molto di più.
Story progression, the world building, it's like Lord of the Rings, you know, this giant world created. This has been going on for about 25 years and it's still good. You know, there's a lot of series that kind of like just fall off and then get good again, fall off. This is just progressively amazing. It's like an exponential curve. It just keeps going up. So One Piece, best manga anime of all time, unless of course he screws up the ending. We don't.
Ecco, e lui è uno di quelli che invece dà peso al finale. Ha detto se manda in vacca il finale non è più il miglior manga e anime di sempre.
No, if he'll screw it up.
Ma certo, Vendetta, è ovvio che Berserk piace a tantissime ragazze gay, ma che cosa c'entra? Cioè, nel senso, piace a qualsiasi persona che abbia buon gusto, semplicemente.
I don't think he will. I think he'll be fine.
What anime is overrated?
Overrated, man. Oh, I'm gonna say One Piece. Don't kill me.
Oh, finalmente!
Oh, don't kill me. One Piece. I think One Piece. Don't kill me. I don't know what it is, but you know, like sometimes you might try something and you're like, I don't know. I'm not really into it. So I think One Piece is that for me. It never really pulled me in, like Naruto pulled me in, or Yu Yu Hakusho, or any of those, right? So, are you a fan? It seems like you're a fan.
No.
Okay.
So what anime is underrated?
Maybe Bleach, right? Because I feel like a lot of people.
Anche qui, no, mi dispiace, Bleach non è underrated, ma è proprio un fatto oggettivo, non si può discutere il fatto che non sia overrated, che non sia underrated, scusate.
Speak. They don't like Bleach, right? For some reason, they're not fans. It might be a bit slow. Sometimes
Lo conoscono tutti e piace a milioni di persone, non può essere underrated, semplice.
it can be a bit slow, but I like it a lot. When it gets up there with action and stuff, I like it. But I think overall, Bleach is underrated in my opinion. Because very few
Bravo,
people seem to like it.
Rosarito.
You know what? Look, it's anime. If we're gonna go into a world that doesn't exist, you just expect anything. It's anime. So I think overall, it's fine. If we're going into a world that's fictitious, expect fictitious things to happen. So I think Bleach. I like Bleach actually. So
Okay, what's your most favorite anime of all time?
to be honest.
Bleach.
I would say I like Naruto, but Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho. I've watched Inuyasha too, Rurouni Kenshin School, but I think Yu Yu Hakusho is my number one anime because I can watch it over and over. And when you reach the last episode, I wish they would continue. That's how good it is. So that's the feeling I look for when I'm watching anime, right? Can I watch this consistently and not get bored? That's Yu Yu Hakusho for me.
Okay, so what anime is overrated?
I think Boruto is overrated. Naruto is so good that they should have finished the anime there. I think there is no person who prefers to watch Boruto instead of Naruto, right?
Vabbè, ma per forza, ma lì si andrebbe in psichiatria.
I think Boruto is a very forced sequel. They just wanted to sell more instead of...
Sì, sono d'accordo io, Sharuro, assolutamente. Però non è il discorso di lamentarsi su Berserk. Capisco un pochino il fatto che comunque dopo che si è assistito all'eclissi, dopo che si è assistito a un viaggio che è comunque crudissimo, durissimo e così combattuto e sanguinolento, possa fare impressione, tra virgolette, il cambio di rotta. Però lamentarsene troppo non ha senso neanche per me.
Characters of the future, I would like to know more about characters of the past. So I think they lost that chance creating Boruto.
What about underrated anime?
I think Sword Art Online is a very underrated.
Ma no, non è underrated neanche Sword Art Online. È uno degli anime più famosi del pianeta Terra. Come fa a essere underrated? È come se mi chiedessero qual è una band underrated. Ma forse, secondo me, i Metallica. No. Semplicemente no. Non può oggettivamente esserlo.
Anime. I think the creators of Sword Art Online understand very much what people want to see, and Sword Art Online is a world where a young guy gets into the video game world. So they created the perfect anime where we can dream and we can want to be the main character. So I think that's a perfect idea.
What's your most favorite anime of all time?
My favorite anime is Naruto. Because when I was 13 years old, I was watching Naruto and I was very motivated to come to Japan. Of course, I knew that there is no ninjas here in Japan right now, but I wanted to see by myself the mountains, the waterfalls that appear in the Naruto anime. So I have a very special feeling towards Naruto.
Okay, thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. My opinion on overrated anime.
Un'opera d'arte sottovalutata, la Gioconda. Esatto, più o meno è la stessa cosa. Più o meno è la stessa identica cosa.